Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and today I want to chat with you guys a little bit about forearm training and forearm development. All right, first up on the list, and I want to make this very, very clear, and I don't know why people don't grasp this, but if your goal is to absolutely maximize forearm development, you need to pull without straps. You need to do the majority of your pulling without straps. That includes your rowing. It includes your deadlifts. All right? That's first and foremost, because otherwise you're going to spend a lot more time bridging the gap. All right? And we have to be clear on that. Yes, we can talk about flexion and extension, and we will. But I don't know how I can be any more clear on that. If you care about your forearm development at all, you'll drop the straps. Okay? And here's what I'm saying. There's a synergy between all of this. If you are willing to do other forearm work and build your grip and all of these things, you're not even going to find it that difficult to train without straps on the back movements. The reason people struggle with grip on back exercises is because they have small, weak forearms, because they have undertrained their forearms, or because they're just cheating. Okay? Like you guys saw me there doing a pretty easy set, just 405 or 12 on the deadlift. You guys have seen me do more with a deadlift bar without straps. I've done 500 for 11 on a deadlift bar with a belt. But when we start really dropping all this other stuff and we just do the hard versions of these lifts, such as I'm pulling without a belt, I'm pulling on a stiff bar, right, with no flex in it. It's all harder, forces us to use less weight. All right, your grip doesn't give out as easy. Same thing on these rows. I'm doing strict one-arm rows where I stretch at the bottom. Can I do these with a lot more weight? Yes. Of course I can. But if I do them strict like that and I've done all my pull-ups first, that 95 pounds for sets of 12 is pretty heavy. Okay? So if you're doing forearm and grip training on top of it, your grip is not going to limit you. And I hate it when people say that. It's such a cop-out to just be weak. I don't want my grip to limit my back. Well, then don't. Then train your damn grip. Again, I agree. Your grip should not be limiting your back. So if it is, why in the hell have you not fixed it? The solution is not to throw straps on and then have small, weak forearms. The solution is to train your grip. Okay, I want to be clear. The solution is to train your grip. The solution is to train your forearms. The solution is to stop cheating on all the exercises. You guys want to do touch and go deadlifts and hitch and everything with a whippy bar, and then people want to cry when they don't have the grip strength to do it. Well, you don't have the glute or the hamstring strength to do it either. Quit cheating. Quit cheating. There's your solution. Same thing on the rowing. Well, my grip is giving out. Well, number one, maybe you should be training your grip more. Number two, quit cheating. Quit cheating. Then you won't need the straps. Then you can actually use the pulling as part of your grip training. You can use it to help get you well-rounded forearms. See how easy that is? If we stop using crutches and excuses for every single thing we do, it works. It works really well. Guess what? Then you're not having to worry about doing extra sets for your forearms beyond the minimum needed to build them after that. You're not having to throw straps on. You're not dealing with any of this nonsense. All right, beyond that, what do we want to do? Some direct forearm work. Look, if you really, because I might have gotten pretty big. I just now recently started adding the direct forearm work in. I have pretty good sized forearms. I want to get them bigger. Let's get them bigger. I need my whole arms bigger. All right, what do we want to do? All right, how about wrist curls and reverse wrist curls? Now I'm doing the regular wrist curls standing. Could we make the case for the seated? Yes. Now, some people will say, you're missing, you're putting it more at the more peak position, which may not build as much, and so on and so forth, and using more weight. And there's truth to that. But the thing is, I've also seen a number of guys strain wrists doing the seated ones. These, it just puts less strain on the wrist itself, unless you just work the muscle. And I do think there is a valid argument to be made for the seated one in terms of joint angles and length and position. I think there's an argument to be made for that. I'm not disregarding that. All I'm saying is it's kind of easy to strain your wrist. And this works really well. Keep in mind our forearms are getting a lot of work from the other pulling. And the behind the back standing one, it does a really good job. It does a really good job still of building it. Plenty of guys have built monstrous forearms doing that going back decades. So it's still a good exercise. However, maybe if you aren't getting enough of the length and position work there and it's not hard on your forearms, or your wrist, I mean in particular, obviously it's hard on your forearms. If it's not straining your wrist, all right, you could totally do the seated ones and use a bar or dumbbells and put your forearms across your quads. Yeah, definitely a case to be made for that. But if you want jacked forearms, you should probably be doing something. Okay, extension, the reverse wrist curls. There's a lot of ways to do them. You could do them seated, and that works just fine. I like the cross bench because I felt like I get a little more out of it. I felt like it was a little bit stricter. I felt like it's a better movement. I think that comes down to personal preference. I don't think it matters. Whereas we can make cases on the other, on the seated versus the standing and all of that with the regular wrist curl. I don't think from a development perspective it matters either one on these. I think do the one that you really feel like you can focus the most on, the forearm extensors, right? Which are on the top of the forearm there. They're smaller, they're weaker. Be aware you're not going to be able to do much weight on it. All right. You guys have seen me pull up in the 600s raw. Got pretty good grip, pretty good forearms. And I use little bitty lightweights. Literally 18-pound dumbbells. It's what I'm handling there, struggling for tens. So, again, all this together, though, combine all this together, and you can get pretty big forearms. All right, guys, well, that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys next time.